to nurses. Purchase your tracks today.
What's poppin', Manivella? Ladybug, salute. Gemstone the Solid, salute. Death for the Clout Chaser, salute. Honorable mention, salute. Iraq, salute. Persistent WAP Monster, salute. Gemstone the Solid. Gemstone the Solid. Yogi, salute, bro. Hey, yo, punch that like button on your way in. DJ Shook Bryant, what's poppin', boy? Donovan Williams, what's poppin'? That's a fact, swap season. Live Wires Black. Ambidextrous, Gemstone the Solid. Miss Geller, salute. Shattered, salute. Feel figure. Gemstone the Solid. Philly in the building. Escobar, North Carolina in the building. What's poppin', Escobar? Yeah, I actually started as a southpaw, Gemstone the Solid, and my trainer turned me around. Scuba Steve, what's poppin'? We got another interesting one today. All day. Said Floyd Loza Castillo. Nah. Nikki Gonzalez, salute. We got some bangers coming in today. Nothing but bangers, you heard? Punch that like button on your way in. Big Mac, salute. Bay 8th, what's poppin'? Steve Nunes, what's poppin'? Salute. It's Friday, you know how we do. They coming in, they coming in. OG Braghead. Town 978, what's poppin'? Rob 2G, Allentown, Bethlehem, checking in the building. Shout out Allentown. Omicron, what up? Yeah, we got an interesting one today. I'm about to jump right into it in a second. Wait till y'all hear this. Nigel Brown, Boston in here. What up? What up? Be safe. What's poppin'? Dante Watson. Swap season, I already know. Primo Cole, Death Ill Town on the check-in, Jersey. What's poppin'? Bumgo Wash in the building. Okay. That's all right. Michael Myers, that like button. Tyreek 1790, the BX up in the building. What's poppin'? Appreciate you, Miss Geller. Corona Queens in the building, the 7 train. 74 from Roosevelt. 82nd in Jackson. Thought I ain't know, huh? Yo, let me get to it. So now, first I want y'all to hear something. This is crazy right here. They sent this to me in my DM. Check this out. Check this out, y'all.
Guards at Rikers Island are accused of taking bribes to smuggle drugs and cell phones to inmates. 15 other people, including 5 inmates, are also charged in this scheme. Prosecutors say the guards received thousands of dollars to get the contraband past security. The New York City Department of Corrections says that 2 of the accused officers have been suspended without pay and will be terminated if they are found guilty. The 4 other guards are no longer with the department.
Did y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all heard that or if y'all want me to play it again. I'm gonna play it one more time, man, because this is crazy right here. And this went unspoken of by almost every podcast that I saw. Check this out.
Jail guards at Rikers Island are accused of taking bribes to smuggle drugs and cell phones to inmates. 15 other people, including 5 inmates, are also charged in this scheme. Prosecutors say the guards received thousands of dollars to get the contraband past security. The New York City Department of Corrections says that 2 of the accused officers have been suspended without pay and will be terminated if they are found guilty. The 4 other guards are no longer with the department.
Okay, now watch this. Watch this. This one don't have a news bulletin, but so you got it going on in Rikers Island. Old news that's been going on in Rikers Island for years. Now you got it in Mississippi. So now I'm looking at the pictures of the one in Mississippi. Yo, I can see why Jay-Z and Yo Gotti and them is filing lawsuits, because this is crazy, yo. Like, they got a dude that pushed under his cell a glue trap that was in his cell with 3 live mouses on it. 3 of them and 1 glue trap that was in his cell. That's crazy, yo. The inmate pushed, and they got a picture of it here. 3 mouses on that glue trap, big joints on that glue trap. The food that they was getting, yo, you got to see those burners. Those burners were atrocious. Atrocious, yo. So now, the thing about it is this, man. All this funding that the prisons get, right? All the fundings that they get, where's the money going to? Y'all ever wonder that? If all that stuff can happen, where's the money going to? I mean, to eat in those, and yo, the food that they was eating, crazy. Crazy, the food that they was eating. And they taking it because they got no choice. So they ingesting poison. Food that will never pass any type of inspection whatsoever. That is off the meter. No good. You see, the reason I made the title, Let's Be More Aware and Less Intrigued, is because a lot of times we be intrigued by things that are momentary, but we're not aware that after that moment is gone, what lies ahead is detrimental. I repeat, the reason I named this Let's Be More Aware, Less Intrigued, is because you can be intrigued by something, but not be aware of what its intent is in the long run. You can't think for the moment. You got to think for the future. You got to think long term. That be the problem. A lot of times everybody thinks short term. You got to think long term. So a lot of times, for example, you might be intrigued by an individual, because I've seen that a lot of times. And I'm about to tie it all together. Trust me. I'm going to show you how I tie it all together. I seen some dudes that are straight ass. And when I say they straight ass, I mean anybody can swing on anybody. I don't mean nothing. Anybody will fight anybody. I don't mean nothing. But does that make that person intriguing? Or are you going to see later on that that same person was really never built like that? It was never built like that. And what happens is that you get intrigued by the things you see at the moment, not knowing that later on it's a double-edged sword. So here it is. You got these brothers that come in and they come into the correctional system to work. And it's a shame because I can't say that they don't have talent. I will just say that they chose to go that route. Because everybody is born with a talent. They just don't seek to use it. And they go for the easiest thing. So you got dudes that's from the hood. They go take that test, civil service exam, and they end up being COs. But they live in the hood. And then what happens is that they live in the hood. They come out the PJs or whatever. And then the people that they see in the PJs, now those are the people that's locked up. Then when they see those people that's locked up, now they feel obligated to look out. This is my man for my PJs. I made it. He didn't. He in here. I got to look out. Then what happens is that the person that's in there, he's already in there. And then what he does is he puts his man on blast because he overdoes it, gets his man caught up. His man is working in corrections. And now next thing you know, everybody's like doing whatever they got to do to survive. It becomes survival mode. I ain't trying to do no jail time. Because that's what's going to end up happening in Mississippi. Because they said 2 top officials on the Mississippi Corrections, they just stepped down. You know what that means? That means that they trying to get out the way. They already see what's coming. It happened on the island. For those of y'all that don't know, in 1990, matter of fact, I just had it on here. I just had that on here, matter of fact. Watch this. Here you go. Corruption sweep at Rikers Island leads to 22 arrests. And look, it's a whole list of indictments on Rikers Island. This ain't the first time. Andre Spann, I see you, baby boy. This ain't the first time. So it's been happening for a while. Here you go. Look, in 1993, officer arranges to be shot for a lawsuit. In 1995, 4 correction officers and 2 cooks on Rikers Island were arrested and charged, smuggling contraband and for poisoning an inmate. 6 guards, 15 others charged in Rikers Island robbery case. And it goes on, it goes on. I remember I was there for the one where they arrested 22 officers. That's the one where Captain Bailey flipped on his mans. You know, what happens is that when the heat comes in, dudes start to melt. But is that really the question? Is it where people gonna be stand up or not? Or the question is that they don't have really control of what they think they got control of. They don't. They can't have control if this continues on to happen. Look, one of the wardens I knocked. Matter of fact, 2 of the wardens, because this dude became a warden. 2 of the wardens I knocked out. Both of them was corrupt. Both of them was crooked. Both of them got fired, terminated, brought up on charges. You see that? But they had power at one time. So how do these people get this power? And how do they maintain such a stretch until they finally get caught? Unless there's more people, even up high above, that is aware of these things and is covering for them. You see what I'm saying? All these things play a factor. So a lot of people go to Rikers Island and they get intrigued by the fact that there's people from their hood that work there. They get intrigued by saying there's people of our own kind that's working in there. But they're not aware that at the end of the day, that same person is going to be the one to knock you over the head with the stick when they tell him to. He got to. I seen it happen mad times. I seen it happen where the CEO be like, yo, man, I don't want to touch that brother. I know him from the street. And they'd be like, oh, yeah? Well, your hours ain't going to be looking too good next week. Pressure bust pipes. They even do it in the jobs. I've been in jobs with a manager. He want to get all the ass. And because he want to get all the ass and somebody comes in and he look good and they ain't paying him no attention no more and they paying somebody else attention, he starts cutting their hours. The problem is actually where the biggest power is at. That's where the problem be at. The problem ain't the soldiers. The problem is the leaders, the hierarchies. This is why I was knocking them out. Them white shirts, I was knocking them white shirts out. I used to tell dudes, if you knock a CEO out, okay, it's all good. But if you knock a captain or a warden out, now we're talking. And I'm not promoting violence. No, not at all. What I'm saying is that it stems from high above. Those are just the tools, the puppets. The ones that get caught, they be the puppets. Because at the end of the day, they're not gonna say that the higher. Well, they are now. They're gonna say that the hierarchy was down with it too. I don't know how many of y'all remember. They used to have this thing called collars for dollars. Does anybody remember when they had the collars for dollars? Does anybody even know what collars for dollars mean? Anybody know? Collars for dollars. We're going to go to it right now. Collars for dollars. Collars for dollars was when police officers were arresting civilians for petty crimes in order to meet a quota for the month and year in service. So they was running around hitting people. That's when they had that stop and frisk stuff. They was stopping people for no reason, making up reasons. They was doing all types of things. Collars for dollars. They was arresting dudes for having their shoelaces untied, their pants hanging off their butt, all kinds of stuff. And then what happened was it got so crazy that then now the hierarchy had to investigate it. And when they investigated it, they was like, oh man. But they had people in the CCRB department, in the IAB department, that was working with them too. So they had to go all into the infrastructure and find out who ain't good and who right. That's when the feds came in. Y'all can look it up. It's called Collars for dollars. That's what they used to do. Get a whole bunch of minute petty offenses, lock dudes up, make that quota. Dudes are sitting in the bullpen because they had an open container, or dudes are sitting in the bullpen because they was on the corner for too long. Collars for dollars. Shout out OG Wayno in the building. That's my bro right there. That's what they was doing. This don't stem from. Let me tell you something. When you see that they arresting correction officers and all that, they just taking the puppets out. This stems more. This goes higher. See what I'm saying? It goes higher. So, can somebody be mad because I knocked out the warden in 1996? Why would you be mad? That same warden got arrested. He committed a crime. And he got fired. He no different than me. But at that time, he had on a white shirt. He had on a star on his chest. He was the man. Till I knocked his ass out. See what I'm saying? It stems from up. Because the puppets can't do nothing without the hand moving them. The puppets don't feel comfortable moving unless the master is moving them. See what I'm saying? That's how it works. So in Mississippi, they going through all that craziness. And the CEOs, yeah, they ganged up or whatever. But you can't blame it on the gang. The gang doesn't make the mentality. The mentality is the individual's mentality that's expressed through his characteristic. That's how it goes. The mentality is expressed through his characteristic. You know what I'm saying? So, salute to all them brothers that surviving out there in Mississippi. Salute to the brothers out there surviving in Rikers Island. Salute to the correction officers that go to work every day to do their job. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't be biased. We can't be biased. We gotta keep it real all around the board. That means there's good and bad and everything, man. Because we need those people to watch over us. Let me tell you something. I'd rather have my man be a CEO, and when I'm in the block, my man is working. I know I'm gonna get my food. I know nobody gonna do nothing to my food. I know I'm gonna go to the yard. I know nobody gonna dead me on the yard. See what I'm saying? It's a difference. So we can't blame and make it like it's all of them. No. It's the ones that are involved in the game. Them brothers over there in Mississippi, they gonna do it. And Wayno that's in here right now, Wayno, no, we went through that same thing, right, Wayno? We went through the same thing, yo. There was times we were refusing. Yo, man, I'm not eating that. Yo, you gonna eat your food? Nah, I'm not eating my food, man. Boof that. Why am I gonna eat that? I don't know what you did to my food. That don't even look right. You eat it. You know, them brothers in Mississippi, and I'm not trying to say that they gotta I don't want to be the person to say they gotta pop off. I'm saying what we did is we popped off and it made a change. Because at the end of the day, when you go against each other, you eliminating the numbers. It's like when y'all watch The Walking Dead, it's mad zombies, but there's not a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? There's mad zombies, but there's not a lot of people. So you're outnumbered. But because of your will and your determination to survive, you make it. Because they already dead. You see what I'm saying? So you got to look at all these things and take heed and say, yo, that struggle that they're going over there is because their voices ain't heard. I've been seeing a lot of my DM when they say, yo, man, Kodak Black is trying to let it be known about what's going on in the jail and they trying to shut him up. Oh, yo, we went through all that. We went through all that. Our mail was stopped from going out. If it wasn't for the Prisoners' Rights Project, which don't exist anymore. The Prisoners' Rights Project, they came into the Rikers Island and they started pulling us out the jails because they had the sanction from the comptroller. And they had from the mayor and they had it from the governor. They couldn't stop those people from coming in. Salute Miss Playful. I see you, Miss Playful, in the building. They couldn't stop them from coming in. So when they came in and started pulling dudes out their cell, they started to know what really was going on. The voices started to get heard. But you know what really got those people to come in? The families on the outside. When the families on the outside started complaining, now it became a big deal. Now money that was in the budget for the city and state was utilized to pay the Prisoners' Rights Project because now they got to arrest 22 officers. Murder, assault, all types of crazy charges they had. Salute, Vibes. You see what I'm saying? So there was a lot of things going on, but if your voice can't be heard, you're going to suffer. Rob G. Yeah, I did an interview with Jack Frost. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be aware that voices are important in this world, yo. Voices are very important because your voice needs to be heard. If you got a family member that's if you got a family member that's locked up and you know that they going through the trials and tribulations, man, you got to go there and help them. And a lot of times it ain't mean you got to go into jail and say, yo, what y'all doing to my son? What y'all doing to my brother? What y'all doing to my sister? No. You got to go, you're outside. So you got to go to these agencies that when a class of people, let me tell you something, when that happened at MDC, all those people that was out there caused action. All those people that was out there, they caused action. You see what I'm saying? They caused action to happen because those people were staying out there all night and they was banging on the outside while you had dudes banging on the inside. When you remain silent, then you have incidents like what happened in Clinton when they found mad bodies under the gym floor. You see what I'm saying? So this goes again. It's better to be aware than to be intrigued. Because you don't want to be intrigued is momentary. It's only a momentary thing. When you're aware, that's for life. Because whenever you see that, whether you see it over and over again, you know what happens? It pops up. You're aware. You already know what's going on. I was always taught to be calculative. Calculate. I was always taught that way. You got to be calculative. You got to be able to decipher. You got to be able to look at something and see the pros and cons, not just the pros. There's cons there. And you got to see how meritable those cons are. You got to see that. What is the merit of these cons that I'm facing? What is the merit of these cons that I'm seeing? Better to be aware. Let's be more aware and less intrigued, man. You see what I'm saying? I was always like that. That's the way I was taught. I was always taught, see, I look pretty and nice. Walls ain't broken. The windows broken. The heat works. The water works. You got to do all those things. You can't judge the house by the way you see it. Know what I'm saying? (2020). If you were moving with awareness, you were walking dead, bro. Miss Geller said, my mother always said that I overanalyze everything. I say that every action has multiple possible reactions, and I need to make sure my bases are covered always. That is such a fact. That is such a fact. For example, yesterday I did the workshop on the jobs. My DM was lit today. All day today, I sent flyers out. All day today, I sent people information of where to get their OSHA, where to get their 30 OSHA, all the workshops that's coming up, all the businesses that's hiring. I took my time out and I made everyone aware. I came on here yesterday and I told everybody about the 7-year rule. I let everybody know about the 10-year rule. That's when you're aware. So now when you go to a job, you're not intrigued by what the app is saying. You're already aware. So you see what they're trying to do. And you don't fall for it. That's the same way we used to be when we used to be in the cell blocks. You used to have these dudes that'll come through and they aura's off the meat rack. They aura is good. Or for look, or for act itself. You got mad dudes that will pass, man. They come through, hey, yo, more or less, yo, I be that dude, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I pop a dude top off, boom, boom, boom. But Wayno's right here, he can tell you himself. A lot of those dudes wasn't coming out the cell, wasn't doing nothing, man. Because when the tides turned, it showed you where they was at. Showed you where they was at. When the tide turns and things get rough and things get nasty, then you see what people is made of. I remember when I was in Southport. When I was in Southport, dudes were trying to start these other cliques. A mentor and all this other stuff. And dudes were trying to start these cliques. I'm looking at these dudes like, what? Who the hell is you? I don't care what you did back in the 80s, whatever. You ain't part of this movement. You're not going to come in this movement later on and start a movement because you're able to speak 48 laws of power. You're able to speak Haile Selassie. You're able to speak Mao Zedong. You're able to speak Sun Tzu. I read those books too. You still wasn't part of the movement. You wasn't on the island when we was down there getting crunched and we was crushing people. You wasn't there. So being that you wasn't there and you was up here somewhere, then whatever you did up here don't count because it didn't start up here. It started down here. So who the hell is you to come through and say that you going to start something and you going to be this and be that? Get up out of here. Nobody trying to hear that shit. But you can intrigue someone with your characteristic. Some people get by like that. Some people get by like that. And this is the problem that we're having in the correctional system. Every time I went to a correctional system, man, it didn't matter what jurisdiction it was in. It was always the same scenario, yo. The brawl comes through to work. Now the dude got to act tough in front of the new chick. So he pick on the dude that he know ain't really built like that. Pops all this stuff. That dude probably says something back to him. Next thing you know, he acting like he extracting him. But he's really trying to show off to this dumb chick because she gonna give him some butt later on. Because she feels that what he did was gangster. Oh, he bad. He in the jail setting. And he going at it with this dude. Man, you think he gonna do that if you see that dude in the street? No, he not. No, he not. So a brother's getting oppressed because he want to impress the new female. Huh? How you like that? So a brother gets oppressed because he wants to impress the female. What? Facts, Maple Cesaro. That's a fact. That's how it be. I see that all the time. And I see it in the state and fed. Same thing. New chick come through. She could be a psych broad. She could be a new CO. She could be a new medical nurse or whatever. The dude want to show off. So he picks a her. A dude that he know he ain't really built like that. Because he ain't going to pick on no real right dude. He going to go upside his head and bust his ass in front of the shorty. He ain't going to do that. He going to pick a her. But when you in a block, right? When you're in a block and all those cells is real rights, when she come through that block, he can't show off. Because dude's going to be pulling his car like, yo, you ass, stop fronting. Why you talking like that? Because what? Because Shorty is new? Because she the new nurse? And yo, Shorty, don't give him no ass. He ass. All these things happen, but they're not never heard of because the voices are shut. You see what I'm saying? All those things happen. But when the voices are not heard, you don't know that these things are happening. I remember when dudes was sitting running around in the street talking about that if a female want to be homie, she got to get sexed in and all that. I was like, what? How a female become homie by getting sexed in? What the hell is that? Was that a porno? Who said that that's official? Who even said something like that? All dudes was doing was they can't get no butt, so they got it through force. So they indirectly raped this broad or female. They indirectly raped her and then told her she down. That don't sound right, right? That's a fact. That don't sound right. Loyalty is everything. Yeah. That's a fact, Wayno. That's right. You gonna tell me that a chick gotta be in the room with 5 dudes doing what they doing and she official? I will never salute no female that came in like that. You ain't what? Man, you better tell them to give you some bread for that flick you just made. You better tell them to give you some bread. Tell them to put that on Pornhub or something because you ain't homie. Who told you that? What? Nah. That's a dub. It's old. Don't never be intrigued. Be aware. Be on point. Because you never know. It's easy to misguide somebody. All you got to do is have the theatrics. Actors do it every day. You see an actor in a movie and he playing his part to a T. But that's what he's getting paid for. Then you got street actors who do it for access. That's what they do it for, access. Because they can't do it without that. Without that, they ain't smashing Shorty. Shorty ain't trying to get out of here. But now if you tell Shorty, yo, you trying to get down? I got you. And then you take advantage of her want to be in a nation of people who stand up for something. You give a bad name. And these are the same things that happen in the prison system. with the guards. They do the same thing. A chick come through and she just want to do her job. They ain't trying to hear that. She got to give it up to somebody so she can be accepted. If not, they're gonna look at her like, all right, we're gonna feed her to the wolves. Facts, honorable mentions. Let's be 100% 100. Let's not sugarcoat. Let's not hide. Let's be real. If you telling me that a female gotta come home by exposing herself, you got it all the way twisted, bro. You got the wrong spot. We don't stand for that. But it's crazy when you're wearing a suit, a jail suit, jumpsuit, whatever it be, and you seeing the guards do the same thing. Got shorty all in the bubble, sitting down, thinking that the dude she go out with, thinking he tough Tony, and he straight Buster. Dude in the street, you smack fire at him, got his beard flying to the left, got his waves flying to the right. But these are the things that happen. This is the reality of things that people don't see. Yeah, and those females, that's right, Ms. Geller, those females got it twisted too. Why would you go in there and think that your loyalty to a nation derives upon you giving it up? What? Who told you that? Whoever told you that, you need to get his license plate number. Follow him to his crib. The minute he get out of his car, backhand him. Whop! Up out of here. Because whatever's in the darkness always comes to light later on. That's how it be. It always comes to light. So, them brothers in Mississippi, man, they going through it. But the only way they're going to make a change over there is, man, they got to stand up and unify, man. It ain't about this gang going against this gang. Nah. That's over with. You got to eat. You got to drink water. You got to get your exercise. These are your amendment rights. They got to stand up. We did it. Every single day when they came on the search, we was like, nah, we ain't coming out. That means they had to crack like 30, 40 cells one by one and extract everybody. Do you know how much that was? They didn't even have enough officers to do that. So after a while, they was bringing it was called ERU back then. Now they call ESU. They was bringing all of them in there. And dudes was like, yo, we not coming out. So they got to crack the cell. They got to throw gas. They got to fight. And they get, you doing that every day? They going to break down. Where the thing at? Nah. Oh, it's bad? You see what I'm saying? So they gotta stand up. It's the only way they're gonna make a change, yo. It's the only way. I'm telling you, we was in the rotunda in our drawers, handcuffed behind the back, black eye, busted mouth, all that. We was going to the hospital. They was pointing guns at us like, we should kill you right now. We was like, yo, I got shoot. Because we know they can't do nothing. They front. The one thing they can't do is kill your spirit. If your spirit is a solid wall of steel, they're going to get mad. They're going to say, yo, they're going to say you that you the worst of the worst, that you this and you that and you this and you that. But all along, all you telling them is like, yo, I'm not going for this and I'm not going for that. I know my rights, and you're going to follow the rights that you're supposed to implement. And it's crazy because it be like that out here. Out here, if you don't know your rights, they would dog you. This is why you got to be aware. If you go to a job, don't just go to a job because they're going to say they're going to pay you $12 an hour. How about, does the job have a union? I want to be in the union. Am I full-time? If I'm hired full-time, I got to work full-time. If not, you're going to sign up like you full-time. They're going to work you like you part-time. You can't be in the union. Later on, they can you, and then they can hire somebody else. They just used you. Awareness, man. Awareness means a lot in this world. Imagine if we didn't know, right? Wayno's right here. Imagine if we didn't know some of the cards of some of the individuals we done met. We done met some dudes that they said that they was thorough, official. Imagine if we didn't know that they really wasn't built like that. Then you would have been fooled. They would have misled you and send you on a dummy mission. When you know your rights, man, you ain't trying to give that up to nobody, yo. Don't give up your rights to nobody. They got to respect your rights. They kept us in the box. They kept me in the box 9 years, yo. 9 years I was in the box. And you know what? I kept saying every day I woke up, the first thing I said was y'all ass. First thing I said when I woke up in the morning, y'all ass. When they said we're going to put you on a loaf and give you cabbage and water, I said y'all ass. The minute he got off the gallery, I already had my man sending food in an envelope that you mail out on the line. I was pulling it in. Put it on top of my table. I was eating. What's that like button on the way in? I was eating. Why? Because you always got to make a way. And you always gotta let the oppressor know you ass. This is why I don't tell the youth to be scared of prisons. This is why I don't come up here and tell dudes about booty bandits and all that stuff. If you tell a dude to be scared of somebody in prison, whether he's a guard or an inmate, you already setting him up for defeat. I would not sit here and do that. Because a lot of times It ain't your choice that you get arrested or locked up. Sometimes you got to do something and you got to do it. Or if not, it's you. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So now when you're going into the dome of oppression, it's like Mad Max. When he went in there, he knew odds was against him, but he had to do what he had to do to survive. That's what I would tell. That's what I would tell anybody. Yo, if you go into jail, man, don't be no punk. You got to stand up for your rights, yo. Don't let nobody do you dirty. Don't let nobody take your commissary. Don't let nobody take your clothes. Don't let anybody smack you. Don't let nobody tell you can't use the phone. Don't let nobody tell you none of that. Go upside their head. ASAP Rocky. I remember I was in the bullpen one time. I was an adolescent. I was 17, 18 years old. This dude was on the gate talking to his man from one pen to another, right across from each other. This bully CO came through. He's like, yo, shut the F up. Son kept talking to his man. He's like, yo, why you telling me to shut the F up, yo? That's a little, you go overboard now. I'm not bothering you. I'm talking to my man. He says, yo, I don't want to hear your conversation. He said, well, I'm not talking to you, so don't listen to my conversation. And I saw him open up the cell, pull dude out, start beating him, choking him, and all that. And I'm in the cell across on this side. I'm looking at him like, yo, this bird-ass dude, yo. This dude's a bird. You know what I'm saying? This dude's a bird. Crack my cell and do that. You got to kill me. Crack my cell and do that. Because you crack my cell and you pull me out, first of all, you ain't pulling me out. The minute you crack the cell and you coming in for me, I'm going to two-piece you right away off the rip. Bing, bing. What's up, man? Why you coming over here trying to put your hands on me? Those things are needed in the prison system. And those are the things that keep the structure on an equal level. Because when you're submissive and obedient, then they get crazy with it. But when they know that things can happen, then they follow the rules. Because they know something can happen. But that's why they herb destroy. Adam Smith said, I bet he stopped talking after that. Yeah, but guess what? I bet if a real dude got on that gate and started talking, he won't say that. He'll try to get him out of there and send him to court. That's called herb destroying. So I'm not intrigued by him pulling that dude out the cell and choking him out and beating him up, because that dude was a bird. You want to intrigue me? Do that to me. Crack my cell and do that to me. And that's the problem. You can't give some people power because they never had it and will abuse it. And that's what they do. They abuse their power. They abuse their power because of people's ignorance. If you know your rights, they can't do so much abusing. That's a fact, Mano King. Yup. Them officers be trying, dudes. You can't show them that you're weak because they will take advantage of you. That's a fact. That's a fact. And the only way to make a message, especially for them brothers in Mississippi, the only way to make a message, man, is going to take sacrifice, y'all. You probably would have killed me if I was over there. I'm not trying to hear none of that. I'm going upside their head. I'm coming out my cell. I'm going upside their head. You know why? Because if we don't do that, it's going to get worse. Yo, I'm looking at the pictures, man, and these pictures are atrocious, yo. Atrocious. A glue trap with 3 mouses on it was in his cell. He pushed it out from under the door. He probably used a blanket or something so the mouses don't bite him because they were still alive. The food, they was getting food, and the burners they had wrappers from butter, and that thing looked like straight slop. So imagine you getting that, and then the trays. The trays was ridiculous. The trays were atrocious. They was faded and all that. Them things wasn't washed. They was wiping them down with a rag. And here you go, you good. What are we in the medieval times? What's this, salt? For that, you might as well put people in these contraptions where it kills them. My moms ain't never said nothing when I was in jail. You know what my moms used to do? My mom used to just put her hands up because she already knew. If I'm on a visit and I see a bandit, I will tell my mom, like, yo, this is our last visit, you heard? And she'd be like, yo, you got to chill. Nah, I ain't trying to hear none of that. It's our last visit, you heard? I love you. I'll see you in about 18 months. I'll get my visits back. So you always got to remember all these things, yo. You got to remember all these things because at the end of the day, man, sacrifice is what? Sacrifice is a statement. Sacrifice is a statement that's John Stunts. I remember John Stunts. Sacrifice is the thing that's needed to make change. Can't make it. The Black Panthers, look what happened to the Black Panthers. How many of them died and went through trials and tribulations so that their statement could be made? They started the free lunch program. For those who don't know, free lunch, free breakfast and all that in the schools, that came from them. My pops ain't said nothing. When I was locked up, he already knew. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm not trying to hear nothing. If for example, if you go into a system and the system go by its rules, then all right. So, it's all right. But the system ain't going by its rules. It's trying to be down at the same time trying to go by its rules. Then you already know. Nah, we ain't doing those. You got to follow your rules, bro. And I'm going to tell you something. Without sacrifice, you ain't going nowhere. And I still say don't shut Rikers Island down. Why would you shut Rikers Island down? All it's showing you is that there's less people in the system. Because if you got those buildings closed down, then it's not overpopulated as people think. Which means that a lot of people ain't coming through like they say. Henry 4625, my older brother did 14 years. We visit him 4 times a month all over the state. Yeah, that's what they do. You know, current events is current events, right? And I didn't make this to talk about Rikers Island or anything. I made this to talk about knowing your rights and standing up for your rights in general. I made this so we can be more aware and less intrigued by the things that we see. That's it. When I went through what I went through for a reason. I didn't do it for just to do it just for no reason.